Greetings, time for a Simmers morning skate. Rob Simpson with you, VancouverHockeyInsider.com. But it's not just a morning skate. It is a 6 minutes with Sammy. And I'm talking about Sam Cosentino from Rogers Sportsnet. You all know him. You all love him. Prospects, draft. He's the expert. He knows everything. And hi, Sam.
Hi, Simmer. That's a really nice intro.
Well, it's quick because we're on the clock. 6 minutes with Sam.
All right, let's go.
It's ticking. We're going to play word association Canucks. Let's start with Jonathan Lekkerimaki, last year's first rounder. Where are we at?
High upside guy, shooter extraordinaire, unique personality, huge upside to this player, but finding consistency in his game and having him work on some of the details away from the puck defensively kind of needs to get back on track this year.
They go Swede again. Thomas, I keep wanting to say Willander, like he's one of, like he's a tennis player. So Thomas Willander, the big defenseman. I think he's a stud. I don't know.
Stud.
You tell me.
Absolutely. I feel so strongly about this pick. I've loved him. I think there was a huge rise to prominence for him going back to November at the Four Nations in Plymouth. He was spectacular there and just kind of continued to rise. And of course, at the under 18s, really good there. But a guy who's a two-way defenseman. He's going to be able to move pucks. He's going to be able to carry pucks. He's going to be able to give you something on your power play. I don't know about unit one, but at least PP2 type of guy. Plays with bite in his game. Really confident in his abilities. A little bit of a different path though for most Swedes who usually stay in the SHL, the Allsvenskan. He'll come over and play college hockey this year. So I like the fact that he feels that that's his best path to development. It's being supported by everyone around him. Really cool scenario that you don't see often. So fascinated to watch him play in that high level of competition at a really good school.
Yeah, he's going to Boston. It's going to be in Boston, right? Speaking of this, we just did, we have a similar thing to this on SeattleHockeyInsider.com and on YouTube about the Seattle breaking down Shane Wright and then Edward Sally, who just happens to be from the same hometown in Czechia as Robert Kron, their director of amateur scouting. But that said, Patrick Alvin, the general manager of the Canucks, we've got a Swede last year, first round. We got a Swede this year, first round. Is this just the comfort factor? Is this just the ties? Is the knowledge, the background? What do we got going here? It's pretty easy.
Yeah, you have to feel super comfortable with the players you're picking. And so, looking at Willander, he's a guy that I think has universal appeal. Yeah. Lekkerimaki, I think you would have had to do some, a deep dive and be really confident with the person you're getting and the character you're getting. Willander, I don't think there was any kind of concerns or deep dive needed. I just think he was going to be the guy for Vancouver no matter what, and addressing the position that they've worked hard to address. I think 7 of their last 13 picks have been defensemen. Went right D heavy, in particular this year. But the thing you have to recognize is those picks, Lekkerimaki and Willander, are really important because just 1 second-round pick in the last 4 drafts, you can usually get your hits in the first round. You usually get decent number of hits in round 2, and then it starts to drop off. So not having those second-round picks, a little bit of a challenge for the Vancouver Canucks. Obviously, they feel very comfortable with their scouting staff, but that also puts a lot more pressure on what you do with your first-rounders to make sure that they hit.
Sammy, I'm watching the clock here. We got to bust a move. 2024, give me a couple names. We just went through the WJC Summer Showcase, the Hlinka Gretzky, and the Five Nations all at the same time. It's like heaven for scouts. 3 different tiers, guys that have already been picked, guys that will be picked next summer, and then the 2025 class. Give me 2 names from 2024 at the top.
Macklin Celebrini, Berkeley Catton are 2 guys that I'm identifying right now as being near the top, probably top 10 guys. I think Celebrini's going to emerge as the Connor Bedard of this year's draft. Really good for Canada at the under 18s as an underage player, and a guy who's just starting to really come into his own in terms of the world stage now, and everyone getting an opportunity to see him. So be a lot of fun watching him in particular, but Berkeley Catton, stud, Spokane. People who live in your area may get the opportunity to see him as he comes up and plays with the Giants and in Everett and Seattle and so on in junior hockey.
Yeah, the dude lit it up at Hlinka Gretzky, by the way. We got about a minute left. The Five Nations Cup. So we're in Slovakia, Czechia. We're watching one tournament. Right as that ends, the other one starts. 2025ers, essentially, the under 17. do you actually have a name in mind that people are going to say, oh, geez, here's the guy for the NHL draft 2025?
Right now, it looks like Michael Misa played for Canada at the Helenka, was really good there. A guy who was granted exceptional status in the Ontario Hockey League will play with the Saginaw Spirit this year. They'll host the Memorial Cup, so we got a long look well into the spring in preparation for the 2025 draft. James Higgins is another one of those guys, U.S. program player, guy who lit it up at the under 17s with another kid by the name of Cole Iserman, who's eligible this year, whose name we should include in the 2024 draft. Higgins is a guy who's eligible in 2025, so keep an eye on him and Michael Misa.
Did you say Cole Iserman?
Yes, but no relation to Steve, spelled differently. Iserman or two N's.
I was gonna say, because there's not many of those around.
No.
Very nice. Didn't know you were gonna get the spelling challenge here on 6 Minutes with Sammy, did you? Thank you very much. Your time just expired. Sam Cosentino from Rogers Sportsnet on VancouverHockeyInsider.com with Rob Simpson-Simmer. Sammy, thank you very much. Go get some sun and some lake time, and we'll see you sometime next month.
Yeah, my pleasure, Simmer. Great to see you as always. Great chatting.